tanks first. Doom, Diva, Queen, Mauga, Orisa, Ram. Find you, and you. Okay. So let's chat tanks first. So I'm gonna get the big three out of the way, and we'll say later who is the S tier tank. But Sigma, Freya, and Diva are like the top three right now. Like those are your goats of tank. If you're playing tank this season, these three are without any argument the best three. And there will be reasons for that. We'll be talking about that later. But for now, I wanted to set these three up because these three are the best for different reasons. But in general, it's Sigma and Diva. They can interact. Tierlist time, yeah. A little bit of content within tier within the wish list, since you already level, like, yeah, let's do this, let's get this out of the way. But you know, tier list wise, these three best tanks undisputable. Honestly, I would say Sigma is probably the better of the three right now, even though Diva is arguably there in some maps above Sig, but normally these two are like kind of interchangeable depending on the map that you're playing. And the biggest thing because of that these tanks give you is they are able to interact with the meta DPS. You see a trend with tanks that the tanks that are towards the bottom are tanks that just cannot interact. I'm not gonna put an S yet. Like, I'm leaving the S for the end, because one of these two or maybe both are gonna rise to S. I don't know yet. We're gonna see the whole thing and then we're gonna make adjustments. But for now, these are the top three for sure. Like Sigma and Diva, especially, are like the top. Why is Taria still here? Vendetta. If Vendetta is not banned, Taria suddenly becomes insanely good. And even without a Vendetta, Bubble Bastion is still really good. Bubble Bencher is still pretty good as well. Like, honestly, Bubble Bastion is almost like even better than Bubble Bencher. You can, especially in the Taria meter, you put like a turret, you just bubble the Bastion in. And as long as you can keep the Bastion alive while he's on turret form, he gets so much value with it. Now, for P tier, I'm actually going to get some of the better tanks out of the way, which is like your Mauga, Hazard, Queen, and Wrecking Ball. These four are like all kind of okay, not like great, but fairly okay, all of them. Ball and Hazard are gonna be okay for like your vertical maps, and Queen and Mauga are gonna be okay for like the flat maps. Why are these tanks not that great right now? Two things. Hazard and Ball just cannot really interact with a Vendetta, especially Hazard just cannot do anything about a Vendetta. So if Vendetta is a map on a high ground map, this she just can't do anything against her. They just get cooked in the 1v1. Like, they get destroyed by a Vendetta. This one doesn't have Vendetta. Which one? Okay, I don't understand what you mean, but yeah. Saying is like, wait, this one doesn't have. You're actually right. Wait, you're actually fucking right. But I pulled the Wujang one. Overwatch2 Vendetta. You're actually completely right. I need to remember we have a fucking new hero to add here. Let me reset this. There we go. That's actually good. And let me actually put this as new, because this is what I'm gonna be sending out the characters. And we get the tanks back again. Reinhardt, you, and you. And I'm not missing anything, I believe, right? Yeah. Let's get the big three here. And then let's get the other good tanks around here. And honestly, I could place Ramatra here too, on the bottom of this. But I don't already. I was actually the one that you found. Does it actually like have them in actual order? Wait, yeah, this is actually so convenient. Actually, I'm gonna do it with this one. That's actually so convenient, having them actually in order, because I get to like place them easier. So let's just do it like this. Malga, Bull, Hasan, Ram. I'm gonna place them in this order. Actually, I think I'm gonna place them like this. I think Bull is slightly worse than Queen. Yeah, Queen is definitely above Ram. I think this should, like, the competition is between Ram, then these two are like kind of tied, and then Hasan and Mao are kind of tied, if you get what I mean. Now, what is up with these tanks? The reason these tanks are here is They're tanks that are okay, but they just can't really interact with the current meta in a lot of ways. They need like a specific compositions or specific maps to work. With Mauga, you need a Vendetta, you need a Venter with you. Or you need actual good support for you to be actually able to close the distance. Mauga is like the Rust dive right now. Like, ground dive is Mauga. Mauga, you go in, you need someone to go in with you, you need the support to stay in. But if you are actually enabled, Mauga can be really good. Hazard, a similar thing. He's a really versatile tank. He can actually dive, he can actually brawl a little bit. But he mostly just wants to be moving. Like, he's kind of like a worse Diva in a lot of ways, where he wants to be in the move, he wants to be contesting individual angles, he wants to isolate people. So characters that can help with that are not that great right now. Especially Genji. Genji was like such a good partner to Hazard, which is not great right now. If Genji was better right now, Hazard would actually be way better. But the problem with Genji being bad is that Genji was like one of the people that really enabled Hazard to like isolate angles better because of the angle control that Genji has as a character. So not having Genji around, which is a character that could really full up on the Hazard, is not great. Queen is... The problem with Queen is she kind of loses the Vendetta 1v1, especially if the Tara is around. And Sig is really killed like really hard by the acid, by the Sonyers. Like, she takes a lot of damage. So that's the issue with Queen. She takes a lot of damage before she can actually close the distance. And she actually needs a lot of people enabling her to actually close that distance. But once she does, she can be really good. Same thing with both. Like, all these taxes need to be enabled. Like these four, just you need to enable them. Without being enabled, these taxes don't really function really well. Same thing with both. You need your Vendetta, you need your Genjis, you need your Tracers, you need your Echoes to enable your sub-working mode to go in. But if you have that, you can make it work. And Ramatra is here just because of one thing. He can survive. Ramatra is one of the only tanks that can actually kind of like contest his kind of like a Sigma with his shield, and also stay alive like a Diva would. Like, he can just walk and just sit there in normal position, and just let his hit scans or his DPSs do the work. Ramatra is a tank that can just sit there, and he does that well. But outside of that, the moment Ramatra has to actually kill anything, man, he's gonna struggle. And for the C tier, we're gonna go with Winston, we're gonna go with Ryan, Orisa, Anon, Hawk, and Doomfist. Now, I think the problem with these, I'm actually gonna put Winston with Hawk, I'm gonna put Doomfist above these, and I'm gonna put Orisa below Hawk. I think I'm gonna leave it like this. Reinhardt is probably the better of the tier, just because Reinhardt has this shield that he can actually like just move. He's actually close to distance. Like, Ryan doesn't strongly close to the distance that much into most of the meta relevant characters as long as you ban Vendetta. Ryan can actually close the distance. Ryan is kind of like, he could be in B. Honestly, like, being so for real, I don't think Reinhardt is as bad as these three around here. But I don't think Reinhardt is as good as Ball or Queen or Manga. I don't think that's the case. But the fact that Reinhardt can just really close distance against a lot of the poke in the game right now kind of gives him like this small like spot we can actually kind of function. Doomfist is just like, he has the mobility and the potency to like get kills and kind of contest a lot of the hits in the meta. But he really struggles against Vendetta in a lot of cases because of the damage Vendetta has. Like, Vendetta lasts 2 overheads on Doom, and the Doom is basically dead. Vendetta can also CC the Doom out of the slam, as far as I've been able to see. She also has a really easy time like going through Doomfist block. Also, Doomfist takes a lot of poke when he's close to the distance, so like Doomfist needs to be enabled, but even harder than Ball. So just, if you're gonna do that, just run the Ball. As the same thing with Winston, it's like, if you're gonna enable the Winston, just enable the Ball. Because Winston's gonna blow up before he goes in. He needs to stage. He's really hard for Winston to stage with a Vendetta around. It's really hard for Winston to stage with a Bastion with a minor perk. It's really hard for Winston to stage with an Ash around. Like, Winston just takes too much damage before he actually gets to stage the dive. And my god, Hog, my god friend. Like, how many times have we buffed this guy already? And he keeps getting worse. It's actually so funny. It's like, we Giga buff Hog, and instead of going up, the guy just keeps getting worse every time. Like, he just keeps getting worse and worse and worse as patches go on. Like, it's actually not even funny, bro. Like, his stats are so fucking high, but he just gets fucked by everything. Ass fucks you, Bastion fucks you, a Bandera completely fucks you up. And you're gonna hook the Bandera, but the Bandera is just gonna kill you anyways. A Sojourn fucks you up. A good answer fucks you up. A good echo fucks you. Like, what the fuck is Hawk supposed to do, bro? Like, I'm gonna be so for real. What is a Hawk supposed to do? You can hook a Sigma out of his shield. Like, you can hook a Sigma. The Sigma is just gonna shield your hook every time. Hook a Diva. Good luck killing the Diva. And you're not hooking a Tharia because you're gonna be paying attention to the guy that Tharia is actually bubbling. Good fucking luck fighting a freaking Mauga. Good luck fighting a Jungle Queen. I don't think you can kind of do something against them. You should buff a Brave and break it. I actually don't agree. I actually think you can buff Hawk again, and he's not gonna break. He's not gonna break it, but he's gonna be annoying as hell to face if they buff Hawk again. Like, we're breaking with past 3 buffs. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, Hawk just keeps getting worse every fucking patch. Like, he gets to be good, and then the game just says, "Oh yeah, check this out." He has got destroyed. Like, the moment Poke is any good in this game, Hawk just gets cooked. Big drinks for one. I'm losing my voice again. The moment you can fucking shoot the Hog, like, he has. I'm actually gonna do it. I'm actually putting this in D tier. Like, the moment Poke is any good in this game, you just shoot the Hog and just falls over before he can move. Like, the Hog is can't walk. You try to walk on the Hog, you're gonna lose your whole breather. You try to Hog, you're gonna die before you get to kill anything. Like, I was in a few maps. What the hell are you supposed to do in this game right now? It's actually not even funny. Not on flex, yeah. Because Hog can actually 1v1 most of the flex DPS effectively, outside of the current Vendetta. Which Hog can really 1v1, but he can 1v1 most of flex DPS. But now we're in a hitscan meta. And Hog can't really interact with any of the hitscans in the meta. He can't interact with a soldier. He can't interact with a Bastion. He can't interact with an Ash. He can't interact with a Sojourn. He can't interact with a Vendetta. He can't interact with a Widow. Like, and it's a similar thing with Orisa. Orisa can't interact with Ash. She can't interact with Sojourn. She's a genuine railgun battery. Both of them are railgun batteries for Sojourn. She can't interact with Vendetta. Vendetta generally eats Orisa alive. Like, what is Orisa supposed to do in this meta generally? I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Orisa generally needs a buff. I cannot fucking believe I'm saying this. But the horse might actually need a buff. We've had the horse dead for long enough now, I think, at this point. And now let me get the 2 horsemen of the apocalypse out of the way. Speaking of horses, let me get the 2 horsemen of the apocalypse out. I actually want to show you guys these 2 screenshots. Actually, let me grab this. I posted on Abby's Discord the other day, and I actually thought it was actually one of the funniest things I've seen in such a long time. And I think this is gonna add so much context to what I'm about to say. I just set these 2 screenshots out. This is EU GM right now, pick rate wise. And this is console GM. Like, you cannot make this shit up, bro. Like, more than 75% of not even that. Like, look. Like, console is not real, man. I swear. Like, what the fuck is that? So I'm laughing just to not cry. But PC is not any better. Like, look at these pick rates. Like, generally the top of the pick rate DPS are all hit scans. Generally, Genji barely makes it into the top. Like, what are we looking at here? Like, you cannot say that hit scans are bad and then you see this shit. Generally, everyone is playing hit scan right now in GM Plus. Like, that is actually, it's actually, I'm gonna go at the stats right now. Like, this is not even funny. Like, the pick rate here. Like, this is not even funny. Like, you know, at the bottom of the pick rate, it's literally almost all projectile characters outside of Echo, Bender, and Genji, like, down there. Actually crazy work, bro. You see America. In America, it gets honestly even kind of worse. Now that I think about it. Yeah, in America, it gets worse. In America, it's even worse. Oh my god. Yes, I'm massive, but I'm looking at PC right now. Like, this is PC. This is PC. We're looking at PC right now. This is PC. Like, this is insane. Like I think that says everything. As improved. Okay, let's look Havana. Let's look at Havana. Oh my! Look at Bastion. You can make this up. This is PCGM, by the way. Oh my god! Oh, it gets worse. Okay, let's look at Asia. Okay, Asia is just a little bit. It's not as bad, but oh my god, what the fuck are we looking at? Oh my, look at this. Okay, let's look at Root. What the fuck is my Junkrat doing? But oh my fucking god, that is actually insane. That's actually not real. It's not by win rate again. Like win rate is this like this. But your Banderas of the world, your Symmetras of the world. We have like Ash in here, Bash in here. You have Jungle here, which is like a 4% pick raise because like 3 people playing him. But that is actually crazy, dude. I mean, Asia is also a good way to review it. It's Ash is like on the top. Top of pick rate and top of win rate as well. Like look at the pick rate and look at the win rate. On Asia. On America. On EU. Like it's actually crazy, dude. It's not even real. Like genuinely they need to do something about Ash. And also they need to do something about Sonya. Like you cannot make this pick rate up. I'm gonna be so for real with you. You cannot make this pick rate up and tell me that Soyun is definitely not good. Like, it's even funny on time because you have like Sickle here and then you have like all this. Everyone's like 9%, 8%, 6%. But you know why Sigma is this high? Because literally half of the damage matches is just Soyun, Ash, Cassidy, Bastion, and Soldier. No shit, people are picking D.Va and Sigma. Like, no shit. No shit. People are picking D.Va and Sig. Like, no shit. D.Va highest in GM Plus, yeah. D.Va's win rate in GM is actually crazy. 56%. It's better in America, 52. Asia, 52 too. But Sigma's win rate in, especially Asia, is crazy. 59% win rate in Asia. But yeah, just so you guys don't debate too much what I'm talking about here, As and Sawyer are the same right now. And not too far behind, we have Bastion. Bastion got a buff to his primary, which okay, is fun, it's good. But the thing is, it basically made everything that was broken about Bastion, it put it in the light. Which is his grenade perk. This guy, with his minor perk, generally turns into better Junkrat. That's what Bastion becomes the moment Bastion gets that perk. He gets a Junkrat burst damage combo while being hit scan. Basically, that's what Bastion becomes. He when he pops ship, goes into turret form and has 2 grenades that he can shoot. The burst damage he has with that perk is unreal. They generally need to change that. That's the main thing. Honestly, I'm not surprised because we've been saying for a while that the Bastion grenade perk was generally so good. And I was questioning how is Bastion still so bad? Because when he has that, is that because he doesn't do anything in recon? And now he does something in recon. So he's not useless in recon. And because he's not useless in recon, you can have him on recon. And then when you get him on the freaking perk, he's broken. And that's why he's here. And first place, he's not even in the higher like pick rate win rate conversation right now. So 51 11% on Asia. On America, 13% 55. On Europe, 14 53. Like he's on the top of the win rates, but his pick rate isn't even that high. Comparatively to other problems we have right now with the Sash. But that's not mean Bastards are non issue. Not even close. Also, I need the water. Thank you. Thank you, Ariana. His minor is generally the most broken perk in the game right now. They need to take a look at that. Let me get the A tier out of the way. So we're gonna have Symmetra. We are gonna have Echo here too. I'm gonna put Venture barely in here as well. And I think that's gonna be probably about it. Yeah, I think that's probably no. Also, I forgot about Vendetta. Vendetta is still what we'll talk about that later. I'm gonna reserve for last. Or probably big power can. Okay, no, this is fine. But yeah. These three is like the horsemen of the predictable role right now. If you're a 5 DPS player, you're normally playing one of these three. These three are like the best for you in ranked. Venture is just your Vendetta is banned. I wanna die. Venture is your character. Maybe the outside of a cooldown is unreal. Yeah. Echo, similar thing. You wanna dive, Vendetta is banned. Echo is your thing. Echo is also like really fun to play right now. Semi with Venture. Like these two characters are really smooth. And they're fairly good. And Symmetra is like really unpunishable right now. Like her TP is really hard to punish. 350 HP is insane. You can break that thing. And her wall is also really hard to punish. So Symmetra just gets a lot of guaranteed value in base. So and Symmetra is also really good herself. You have good sim. You can guarantee value, but also you can destroy lobbies. Like you enable so much with this character. You feel like it can be anywhere. Yeah, like Bastion gets generally if you're a bencher and you're fighting a Bastion and Bastion has that perk, generally Bastion just has to go one grenade away from your burrow. You throw that to him, he goes another grenade, and you generally can't reach him. You can't reach the Bastion. Meanwhile, with that, he's fighting you with a actually good damage. And that nade perk needs to go. It needs to be one grenade perk when you get out of form, not when you get in of form. But yeah, that's fire. And now for BT, I have a lot of characters here. I got Soldier, I'm gonna get May, I'm gonna get Tracer, I'm gonna get Reaper, I'm gonna get Widow, I'm gonna get Hanzo, I'm gonna get Sombra, I'm gonna get Farah, and I'm gonna get Rat in here. Honestly, maybe Genji too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Genji Rat. I'll order these real quick, and I'm gonna put Hanzo here, put Widow here, Tracer, Reaper, May. I'm gonna put Farah above Widow, Hanzo below Widow. Yeah, I think this B tier looks good. Rat is good again? Yes. Junk is actually surprisingly decent right now. The change is actually aged super well. If you look at his win rates right now, he's on 51 on GM. On AC, it's a little bit lower, it's on 48. On America, it's also on 51% win rate. Like, it's actually really 50% right now. Like, Junk, the change has actually aged so well. Because in bronze, his win rate hasn't gone up. His win rate is actually on the gutter on bronze. Same thing on silver. Like, his win rate on the low ranks is actually still in the gutter. That change has actually aged so well that it's actually surprisingly decent right now. The only reason Junker is like above Hanzo right now is because this is not his meta. This is a really bad meta for Rad. Rad doesn't like Sigma, Rad doesn't like D.Va, Rad doesn't like Tharia. The moment Mauga rises into the meta, the moment Queen gets into the meta or Ram gets into the meta, Junk is gonna be cooking. That's all I'm gonna be saying. Junk is gonna be actually cooking. He might actually sneak himself to the A tier again. If Mauga gets in the meta. If Mauga gets in the meta, mark my words. If Mauga gets in the meta, Junk is gonna sneak in the A tier. Unless they buff Freya. If they buff Freya or they buff Farah, Junk might not get there. But if Freya stays as CS or she doesn't get buffed too hard, the patch is this Thursday. If Mauga gets in the meta, mark my words, Jungler is gonna be really good. Jungler is gonna be unironically really good. That being said, though, Jungler is not the only one to talk about here. Soldier, honestly, fairly okay. Like you can run him. Soldier is okay, does his thing on rank especially. He's like kind of like a worse kid cam. He can deal really well with Passion. He can deal really well with Echo. He's a good answer to both. He can deal with a Sojourn on some maps. He can actually give her a run for her money on some maps. Yeah, the Freya nerf had Rad a lot. Yeah, of course. If Freya gets buff, I don't think Rad is getting out of the B tier anytime soon. But Rad is kind of okay right now. I could see them not touching Rad in this patch, and that'll be fine. Farah is okay on her maps. The issue is hits can just kind of destroy Farah. But if you ban Ashe, you can kind of play Farah, and you can get away with it. If you have like a D.Va with you, D.Va Farah against Sojourn is not that bad. Or against a Bastion, you farm a lot of damage on Bastion. You deal really well against Sim and Venture. You can deal with Echo fairly well. You get your shots. The Farah Echo duo is kind of fair. So Farah can kind of cook. Widow is generally just a counter pick answer. If you don't know how to play Ashe, just play Widow and fight the Ashe, or play Widow and fight the Sojourn, or play Widow and fight the Bastion, or fight the Soldier. If you want to deal with headscans and you're not that good at the other headscans, just play Widow. Widow, if you're a good Widow, you can deal with pretty much any headscan in the game right now. Widow is an underrated counter pick. If you ban Vendetta, Widow is a really underrated counter pick. Similar thing with Hanzo, but not as much. Hanzo, the issue with Hanzo is he cannot lose the duo to Ash, and he loses the duo to Soldier. But he's a really good pick into Bastion. So if you're strong into a Bastion, Hanzo can be really good. Like, this tier is a lot of counter picks. Is counter pick, or specific comps, like comp wise. Like, Pharah can pop up if you're playing here with a D.Va. Jungler is really good if you're playing him with a Mauga. Or Jungler is really good if you're playing him with a Queen in some scenarios. In some close maps. Like, Jungler in some close maps with a Mauga, with a Queen, or even with a Thalia, Jungler can be really good. They're massive. Playing Win into her is not that hard. Yeah, exactly. You're right. Like, that's why we're such a good counter pick. There's a similar thing. Tracer Ball is always gonna be good into a hit scan. You can run that, or even with a D.Va, you can run a Tracer. There's a good counter pick into hit scans. If you ban Venture, if you ban Symmetra, if you ban Vendetta, one of the three, you can gonna run Tracer Ball and you're gonna be comfortable. Especially if you ban Vendetta, to be comfortable. Reaper, if you ban Vendetta again, you can run Reaper Tharia, and you can deal with Reaper Tharia as a really good counter to Reaper Bench or Reaper Bastion. They can counter pick to both. May, if you're going against the Tharia, strong against the Tharia, you can run the May, just kill the Tharia. You wall the Tharia off if he tries to do anything aggressive. You can. May is also a really good counter pick against Mauga. May is a really good counter pick against Queen. So if you're strong against any of these, is also really good. So you can also do a lot to Sigma. Sombra, unironically, really good against Sig. Really okay against Bastion too. Good against Sim. Good against Venture if you know what you're doing. Someone can do a lot. Genji with your boss, and especially with Hazard, you're running Genji Hazard can make it work. But a lot of these tiers is like comp specific. You need to be a good player. You need a good player. I'm gonna do this comp or Ben specific. Comp Ben specific. I'm gonna put this really strong. Completely broken. Yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, I think this gives context to the tier. Yes, if you are on a comp that these characters can work on a map, they work. You can make them work. You can do things with them. They will pop off on their times. But they're just not as good as the A tier. Like, the A tier is just really strong character. You can pretty much run anywhere against anything and you're gonna be okay. B tier is characters in their specific places are gonna do a lot. But into most of the meta characters, you're gonna struggle. Like, if you're running Junk Soldier into an Ass Soyun comp, you're gonna struggle. Into an Ass Venture comp, you're gonna struggle. Into a Soyun Echo comp, you're gonna struggle. Like, Jungler reduces really hard against these three. Genji reduces really hard against the three other flex DPS in here. Also, he struggles a lot into Bastion. Sombra really struggles against both of the skid scans. Same thing with Mei. He also doesn't really like Echo a lot. Reaper struggles a lot into the two hit scans, and also Sim can gonna give her money a lot of times. Tracer struggles a lot into Sim Venture, and also Bastion can really survive for a lot of times. Hanzo just struggles a lot against the Venture. He also struggles a lot against Ash in a lot of maps because he can cannot do the Hanzo. Widow struggles a lot into this too. So it's like comp specific at the counter pick. And now for the CT, I'm gonna have Thorpe, I'm gonna have Cass, and I'm gonna have Freya. And I'm not putting Freya in D because I don't think Freya is as bad as these two. I think Freya you can make her work. Freya you can make her work with a Wrecking Ball, especially Freya Wrecking Ball is still a fairly okay comp. Freya Wrecking Ball with a Tracer is actually nice comp still. Freya with a Hazard can also work with a D.Va. Normally, you're gonna play Freya, you want to get Ash out. You want to get the Ash out of here. Freya's still really good against Bastion, really good against Symmetra, good against Venture. If you're playing against a Bastion Sim comp, you can run the Freya, and Freya's gonna actually do a lot. So Freya can have her moments. She's not there by any means, unlike a lot of people are saying. She's not near or less at level so bad, but that doesn't mean she's good. Same thing with Cassidy. Cassidy can work on some places. That doesn't mean Cassidy's good. Cassidy can make you the fix against a Vendetta, but he's most times gonna die killing the Vendetta. He's still good at spamming, yeah. And he's still good at killing things with really big hitboxes. Bastion, big example. Junkrat, also a good example. Freya still really good against Rat. Good against Reaper too. Good against May. Really good against Moga. Really good against Hazard. Decent against Paul. Insanely good against Hog. Good against Orisa. Like, big hitboxes, she runs out. Good against Torb. Good against Gas. Like, anything that she can spam consistently is gonna be good for Freya. Anything with a decently big hitbox, Freya is gonna be good against. Cassidy can make you the fix against a dive comp, but Cassidy is normally gonna die trying to survive the dive. Cassidy is most of the time just gonna die. He takes someone with him. He'll take the Vendetta, he'll take the Tracer, he'll take the ball, but he's gonna die. He's too frail. Cassidy right now, as much as some people think he's annoying, Cassidy is too frail for what he wants to do. He's really frail. And Torb, similar thing to Cass, but not on the frail side, on the damage side. Torb's damage is really bad. Not bad on the sense that he does not do damage, but the sense that he's really inconsistent damage-wise. His turret is really easy to kill and takes so long to set up, and it's so hard to set up unless you have the major perk that you better just... Like, the fact that the Predator speed on the turret is on the major perk and not on his base kit is still surreal to me. Like, he takes so long setting up the turret that you might as well don't have it against burst comps. You might as well don't have it. And his damage on his Predators is really inconsistent, it's really bad. And there's not really a necessity for you to survive a close range encounter right now, so Torb doesn't really come up. And now, our other S tier character that's shaping the meta, unless he's banned, is Vendetta. Depending if Vendetta is banned or not, this tier list changes. If Vendetta is banned, Jungle could actually genuinely go to the C tier. If Vendetta was banned. Against the Vendetta, a Jungle comp is gonna fuck the Vendetta up. But Vendetta being banned or not completely changes the meta. Vendetta being out makes Bastion worse. Makes Venture actually a B tier character if Vendetta is around. So Vendetta is kind of shaping the meta on her own, as well as Soyun and Nas. And you're going to see how DPS is going to have the most characters in the S tier. And that is because DPS is shaping the meta right now. DPS, right now, these three are shaping the entire meta. Whichever is banned is going to shape how the entire rest of the tier list plays out. If Vendetta or Ash are banned, this tier is completely different. If Ash is banned, suddenly Hawk rises up to maybe even a B tier or a C tier. To a high C tier, probably. Winston rises up. Queen rises up a little. Mauga too. Like, if Ash is banned, meta changes. If Vendetta is banned, Mauga generally goes down to C tier. Same thing for the Queen. Like, these are shaping the meta. Ash and Vendetta are shaping the meta. And Soyun is almost there. I think Soyun is like a peg below this tier. And now for supports, we're gonna have a big A tier. I'm already warning you. Ana, Break, Bab, Juno. These are gonna leave for later. Kiriko and Woyang are all in the A tier. And honestly, even Mercy. I'm putting Mercy in the A tier. And a lot of people are gonna find this hot, but hang with me for a second. I'm gonna put Break, I'm gonna put Kiriko above Break. Woyang here too. Ana, Juno, Bab, Mercy. Okay. I like that order. Yeah, with all come on. Yes, physically not possible. Hitbox is too small, and she's gonna a lot of times get the blocking before you shoot. Sometimes the Vendetta will just get the block out before you get to shoot the Vendetta. I think I'm only gonna be placing one support in the S tier, and that is Lucio. Lucio is going on the S tier. Now let's elaborate on this. Why is Lucio on the S tier? Lucio is on the S tier because he supports the tank. Lucio supports the tank, supports the Vendetta engage, and he can move. He can actually avoid fire from a lot of these hit scans. He is really good at staying alive from a Vendetta. And he actually supports both Sigma and Zarya really well, and even D.Va. So that's what this is there. But honestly, even Lucy could probably put in A tier. Honestly, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna leave Lucy in A tier. I don't think it's fair to have Lucy alone in the S tier. Because I think Lucy is completely broken. First idea on Suzuki before Samurai. If I walk up, she blocks, I do like 10 damage. Yeah. You don't get to walk up, and without walking up, you do like negative damage to Vendetta. But yeah, Lucy just because of that. Kiriko, same thing. You can survive the Vendetta. But also you can do an Asuna Soldier in some scenarios with Kiriko. Even though now with the project it's actually really hard to do an Ash or do not, especially to a Soldier. An Ash you can kind of get away with because the health boost is massive. But doing an Ash doing a Soldier with a Kiriko is really hard because of the hitboxes. But Ash you can kind of get away with. Break, especially against D.Va, is really good having a break. If you have a D.Va and you have pros with the D.Va, just run break. William can trade both with the hit scan, so William is always gonna be great. Same thing with Anna, especially with the headshot break, Anna can kind of pop off there. Also, she can kind of survive the D.Va engage with the break now, so same thing. Same thing with Juno. Juno can also fight flankers now, so Benji's a massive big of an issue for Juno as well. Juno can farm Bastion's hitbox really well too. Same thing with Pap. Any character that can trade with a DPS right now on support is gonna be good. Mercy, why is Mercy good? Think about it for a second. Why is Mercy good in this meta? Because both Ashe and Soldier are on S tier. And because Ashe and Soldier are on S tier, Mercy suddenly, by putting their beam in there, turns them from completely broken S tier to generally raid post level. A pocketed Ashe or a pocketed Soldier is generally one of the scariest things you will find in ranked right now. So hard to deal with, especially for tanks. Like, if you have a pocketed Soldier or a pocketed Cassidy or a pocketed Ashe on the enemy team, and you're playing tank, you're not going to have fun again. As a tank, you're not going to have fun. If there's a message pocketed hit scan, you're not going to have fun. You're not. If you're playing anything that is not Sigma or even D.Va into that, you're not going to have fun as a tank. If that is in the enemy team. Now, and I'm gonna make this division fairly clear. I'm gonna put EDR in the B tier, and I'm gonna be putting Weaver, Moira, and Zenyatta all in the D tier. I don't think any of these characters are good. Honestly, Zenyatta would probably justify C tier for him, but I'm gonna be direct here. I don't think Zenyatta is good. Zenyatta has the hitbox of freaking square. He gets farmed by us. He gets farmed by any Soldier rail. Bastion farms him up. Venture farms his ass. Echo farms him. Symmetra farms him. D.Va farms him. Like, generally, all of this farms Zenyatta for breakfast. Because I actually picking the pocket Soldier 1.4 seconds, yeah. And let's not talk about her ultimate because, oh my goodness. That ultimate is pocketed, just tank and just disintegrated instantly. Weaver cannot even survive Vendetta. I'm gonna be fully frank with you. Weaver cannot even live a Vendetta because he's 250 HP. I don't know why in the hell made this guy 250 HP. And honestly, I'm getting to the point where I would not mind seeing Moira go to 250 HP again. I'm getting to the point where I would not mind seeing Moira go back to 250 HP. I'm starting to think that Moira on 225 HP just does not work. I think Moira on 225 just does not work. I have to feel that, honestly, I wouldn't be mad if on the mid-season these guys just get 25 HP each. On the next patch, I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't mind it. Especially for Weaver. But honestly, these two could get it too and I wouldn't mind it. Because they generally disintegrate into any tank. Into any competent hit scan. This card disintegrate. A Vendetta deletes them from the game. Generally. Like, don't play these two supports. You're not gonna have fun. Save them for quick play. Don't play them in comp. You're not gonna have fun. Let's talk about the rest of the roles. What I would like to see from the next patch. For D.Va, I'm gonna leave it pretty small. Okay. Patch is in like an hour and a half, right? No. It's on Thursday. It's on the 8th. It's on 2 days. Patch is in 2 days. Actually, let me show you guys this. So you guys get to see actually what time the patch is, because we actually got this announcement earlier today, and I was already guessing it. Yes, on Thursday. Patch is on Thursday. And it's this. So, heads up, friends. We have our season 20 mid-season hitting on Thursday 1/8. Want you all to know this is a reverse patch, which means it's a large update. As all you may know, we do this yearly, but let's talk about what it means to you. It may take an extra time to add it on Thursday, and what this patch is supposed to do is to reduce the overall size of the game. So the patch, after this patch, the game is gonna weigh less. They're gonna be reducing the overall size of the game. So yeah, the patch is on Thursday. It's in 2 days. Which is why we're making this today, because we don't have much time and I want to get this on YouTube later. That's why we're making this. That being said, let's talk about D.Va. What do I want to say about D.Va? I want to see the boosters perk, damage boost that you get from 100% to 75%. I think the burst damage from boosters with this perk is a little bit too much for D.Va. The burst damage is a little bit too high. Honestly, if you want to get away with a little bit of a nerf-based D.Va, I wouldn't mind seeing the regen rate of Matrix go down a little bit. But that's about it. I don't think D.Va needs that big of a nerf. I think just a small nerf to D.Va, you will be fine. So let me get my phone charging. There we go. Get my phone charging so I can keep reading chat. But yeah. Doomfist. Doomfist, I think you can kind of give Doomfist a small buff in this patch. And in my opinion, you just reduce the cooldown of Slam back to 6 seconds. Like the Slam cooldown, move it back to 6. And increase the damage to 60 from the Slam. Give Doomfist a little bit more power on the Slam, both on the cooldown and on the damage. And maybe reduce the spread of his right click a little bit. Make the spread of his shotgun a little bit lower. I think that's about it for Doom. Hazard is mostly fine. Queen is fine, even though I would really like them to revert the Axe cooldown, because I think that change was awful. Mauga is fine, but if you were to change Mauga, I would love to see the spread on his one gun shooting style. When he's shooting just one gun, I would like to see the spread on Mauga get removed, or being lower extremely when he has only one gun active. Not when he is on both, but when he is with one gun. I would like the spread to go down. Orisa actually does need some help right now, so I'm gonna suggest 2 things. Projectile speed on her gun. Increase the projectile speed a little bit on her gun. I think that's something you can do for Orisa. Towards projectile speed. Allow her to be a little bit more consistent on distance. I think that could be okay with Orisa. Make her another tank that can actually interact with long-range characters, which we're going down here. The speed penalty when firing a single gun. That's another one too, but that's more of a quality of life thing. Like either reduce the speed penalty 10% or 5% when you're moving with the gun, or just reduce the spread, or maybe even both. Honestly, just improve his gunplay. Like reduce the speed reduction when he's shooting one gun. And reduce the spread of it. Because look at how the spread gets on a distance. Like, look at the spread. Look at how big the spread gets. Just reduce the spread a little bit, so you can actually be a little bit more consistent on the distance. You can contest your sojourns, you can contest a little bit more. I'm feeling on firing gun playstyle, yeah. But the thing is, it helps him live on that playstyle, which is something he needs. But it doesn't help the second part of that playstyle, which is the fact that he doesn't do damage on a distance. His damage on distance is very negligible. So improving that spread a little bit, I think is like the best thing you can do. And that and the movement speed, but I think the spread is more important if you do want to improve that playstyle. I think the movement speed is more of a quality of life thing, and I also think it's tied to shooting both guns. Where that's why that speed reduction is in there. If they could reduce that without reducing the speed penalty for shooting both guns, I would like it. If they can do that, I think it's better going for the spread. Going back to Orisa, projectile speed, my big one. Give her a little bit more projectile speed on Orisa. Bring this projectile speed a little bit, now that this doesn't have fall off, would make Orisa really good for contesting long range characters. I think giving tanks more options to interact with long range characters is for the best. Both for Mauga and Orisa allow these characters to contest long range a little bit more. Allow them to contest more for a distance. Especially Orisa, I think is a big one there. Other suggestions for Orisa. The speed boost, the speed bonus on javelin speed for 20 to 30%. So she moves faster doing this, during her E. I think doing that is fine. I think that's another thing you can do. More movement on the E. 45 I think is mostly fine. Javelin is fine. But yeah, I think those two, like maybe that. Like movement speed on the E. Or projectile speed on her primary. Or maybe even both if you want to. Because her win rate is really bad. Ramatra. I don't think this guy needs much right now. But honestly, if you want to micro buff this guy, either give him projectile speed on his staff, or reduce the cooldown of his shield, but also reduce the HP from 1000 to 700. I think that's what you cannot do with Ramatra. You could also maybe increase the speed boost on his form, so you can chase people better. Because one of the issues Ramatra has is that compared to a jungle queen, he cannot really chase people as well. So Ramatra, maybe the movement speed bonus from 20% you raise it to 25%. So he gets to move a little bit faster during his form. So raising that movement speed on form would be a pretty good change for Ramatra. So stuff like that I would like to see. Reinhardt. Reduce his shield health, but also reduce the movement penalty on the shield. Get rid of the movement penalty on the shield, but also reduce the shield health to 1.2k. 1.2k or 1k HP shield, but Reinhardt gets to move during his shield better. I think that's one of the changes to Reinhardt. Another one might be 125 fire strike, but I think fire strike can be fine for now. I think barrier, raising the 30% movement speed to like 10% maybe, or getting rid of it completely by reducing the shield health to like 1000. I think that will be fine for Reinhardt. Like reducing that movement penalty or getting rid of it completely on the shield, but reducing the barrier health to like 1000 or 1100, I think will be a good change. Another one I think could be pretty underrated is the attack speed on the hammer itself. I think above the attack speed on the hammer itself. But I do think the movement penalty on the shield is probably my priority. What I will go for, just allow Reinhardt to move a little bit faster while he's on shield, and reduce the shield health in exchange. Roadhog. Okay, for Roadhog I have a few suggestions for the guy. My first one, probably my most obvious one, is you see this like little pellet Roadhog has on his right click. I would love to see the damage on the right click itself, like when it's not blown up yet. Like that damage, 50 damage, I'll probably raise it to 60. Or maybe 65 or 70, something like that. Make that right click a little bit more powerful when it's not blown up yet, so it's a little bit more consistent. I would like to see that. The damage going up a little bit. And honestly, I'm gonna drop this bomb. Give him Invigorate on base kit. Move Invigorate to his base kit. I don't care. Move Invigorate to his base kit. Move Invigorate to his base kit. At this point, I don't care. We keep raising his stats and he's still bad. Move Invigorate to base. Go crazy. Move Invigorate to his base. And if he needs a nerf, we have plenty of overbuff stats to nerf on Roadhog. We have plenty of overbuff stats to nerf. Give him the speed on breather. Give him the movement. I don't care. Give him the movement. Sake. A few suggestions for a small nerf for Sake that I have, or more like a meaningful nerf for win rate, is shield health from 700 to 600. I think is probably a one that you can do. Or maybe the recharge rate from 85 to 75. But that has to drop a bit and increase fire rate. That is not a bad idea either. Yeah, I do like the fire rate, especially for right click. I think the right click, if you make this like 65, I'm giving better fire rate, but you nerf the pellet damage a little bit. I think that could be really cool. So you guys to fire this more often. I don't hate that idea. That's a pretty good idea. But my biggest heal on Hog is Invigorate. Give Roadhog Invigorate on base. Give him Invigorate on base. I don't care. I think it's time. We've done enough things with Hog. When we have possibly the best solution on his major perk, give him Invigorate. I think it's about time. Sigma, we've already said. Shield health. What more can we do with Sig? The over health conversion rate on his kinetic grab, we could reduce it a little bit. Correct survivability nerfs, like 50% conversion rate on his kinetic grasp, or the max over health for 150. Barrier health, I think, is another one you can do. HP on Sigma, you can reduce his HP a little bit. Like buffs that are not like too big, too significant, but just to reduce his win rate on survivability a little bit. Let's reduce how much Sigma can actually survive. But yeah, that is what I suggest for Sig. Winston. I actually talked with this with Nadia the other day, and I think I agree with what we decided there. Revert his damage back to the way it was. Like late season 9. Actually, let me check how much it was again. Winston, where are you? Because his damage cooldown was 75, right? Okay, it was 75. So give him back 75 damage on Tesla Cannon. He has 75 damage on extra armor. Give him 25 extra health on armor. Give him 25 more armor on Winston. And maybe reduce his ammo to 100. And the ammo cost of his right click if he ends up over 2. Reduce the ammo cost of his secondary fire to 10 and reduce his ammo if you want to. But I think just the damage and the armor, I think things you can improve Winston is allow him to survive a little bit more. I think it's a thing you can do. Wrecking Ball, please, I'm on my knees. Revert the ammo. Revert the goddamn ammo. That was such a bad change. Please. Revert the ammo. It was such a horrible change nerfing the ammo Wrecking Ball. Revert the ammo. Move the ammo back to 100. It was such a bad change, man. Get the ammo back, please. It's not that hard. Revert the ammo. Honestly, if you want to reduce the spread, okay. But one of the two, bro. His gunplay is so bad right now. He runs out of ammo so quickly, and his gun is not even good. So do one of the two. Either a spread or ammo. But do one. Man, that change was actually so bad. Nerfing Wrecking Ball's guns weren't the problem. Tharia, I don't think she necessarily needs anything. But if you want to nerf Thayas to make people happy, just reduce the duration of the ally bubble to 2 seconds. That's it. I like his perks. I hate them too, but the ball is not strong enough right now to say that his perks are that impressive. Ash, my goodness, bro. And then what about this one? Okay, Balancing, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this one. Revert the fall off. Please. Revert the fall off. Revert the fall off. Please. Everyone told you this change was not gonna age well. Revert the fall off. And if you want, reduce the coach on cooldown to 8 seconds. If you want to compensate. But revert the down fall off. It's such a horrible change. Revert the down fall off is such a bad change. Revert the down fall off. Revert. Such a bad change. Bastion. She was pretty bad. She was pretty bad. To be fair, she was pretty bad before the change. Her win rate was high because of her health, but she was still pretty bad. Like compared to a soldier. Passion, nerf the perk reload. You should not be getting a second nade instantly after putting form. You should get it only when you're exiting form. That's it. Just get that and increase his ult cost by a little bit. Increase his ult cost to like 2200 or 2300. Increase the ult cost a little bit. And if you do want to nerf his turret form a little bit, just make his base damage 10 and give him a headshot. That's about it. Guys, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this again. Give him the HP back, give him the 275 HP, and give him the 20 meter fall off. And if you're scared of him being bad like he was before the buff on the fall off, just give him 5 seconds roll. That's about it. If you're scared of Cassidy being bad because you reduced the fall off even though you gave him HP, just give him the 5-second roll. But allow Cassidy to be a close range hit scan. We need a close range hit scan, and Cassidy is exactly that. Echo no changes. I don't think Echo needs anything. Be so for real. I don't think Echo needs anything. I think Echo right now is absolutely perfect where she is. if you really want to do anything with Echo, really want to do anything, just replace that goddamn flight reset perk with something else. But that's about it. Echo doesn't need anything. Oh my god, the elephant. Where do I start with Freya? Freya has so many things going on. But if you told me what would I do to her in this patch, is 250, the obvious 250 HP, 10-second updraft, and remove the spread from her gun. Get rid of the spread. Get rid of the spread, 250 HP, and 10-second updraft. Do that. And we see from there. 250 HP, 10-second updraft, and get rid of the spread on her gun. That's it. Genji. A lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I think it's about time we give Genji a damage buff. I think it's about time. I didn't want to say I wasn't really a big advocate for this for a while, but if we're gonna give his predictor small, I think it's time we give this guy a damage buff. But if you don't want to get there yet, please, and this is a very important thing, move his deflect back to 8 seconds. Why is this a 10-second cooldown? Why do we do this? Do you want to make me understand? Because I don't. Why did we make that a 10-second cooldown and 30 ammo? Yeah, like my thing for Genji is simple: 30 ammo, damage buff, and 10-second and 8-second defect. That's it. You don't need to do more with this card. Just do that. I'll leave the character as is. We're already giving Cassidy to 75. We're giving Ithaniela to 75. We're giving Moira to 25. We're giving Weaver to 75. I think Genji can get to have damage on this patch. Gets to have damage, gets to have ammo, he gets to have his deflect back. Because his projectors are not as big. He's not gonna be hitting triple dings from this distance anymore. From this distance, he's gonna be hitting triple dings as much. You 1v1. Yeah, that's basically Genji right now. You just are reload all the time. You're just reloading. So give him the ammo back. Revert the nerfs basically. Revert the ammo, revert the deflect, and give him the damage back on his primary. And if you truly want, you could make the blade 120, but I don't think that's necessary. You end up being hurting that around. And so I'm gonna be PT on this guy. But I only want 2 things on Hanzo. I want the movement speed penalty on the bow from 30 to 20%. I want to buff the neutral of Hanzo a little bit. And that is, I want the movement speed on his bow to be gone. Or on during his ult, but that is a different thing. I want his movement penalty to be reduced to 20% on the neutral. And while he's ulting, while he's on his dragon, I want the movement penalty on his bow gone. Let's do something interesting with this dragon. Either that, or you reduce the cooldown of his sleep by half while dragon is active. But make dragon a little bit more interesting to use. Either by making it so the jump cooldown is on 2 seconds when the dragon is active, or just by removing his movement penalty on bow when he's on the ult. Compares nerf Storm Arrows. If he ends up overtuned, yes. And if he ends up overtuned, just makes Storm Arrows 4. And that's about it. If you do want that. But I don't think that's needed yet. If he ends up overtuned because we saw him make him move faster doing his normal bow, do it. The reason Storm Arrows is so strong outside of having 5 is the fact that he has absolutely no movement penalty during them. So I want a lot of movement penalty on his normal bow. I want to make Hanzo a little bit more mobile. Because he's supposed to be the mobile of the 2 snipers, while having a more mid-range kind of snipe. It's kind of like the Soyun of the snipers. He's what Soyun should be to Ashe. But he's that to Widow. He should be the mid-range sniper that he's gonna be trying to play on this 25-meter range. Because that's where he gets his most consistent kind of one-shot. So allow him to move more on that range. Give him a little bit better movement so he can compete more with the characters that are on that range. And just make his ult more interesting. That's about it. And if you need to nerf his Storm Arrow to 4 arrows, do it. But I think that's something you can do. Junk. I don't think this guy needs a lot. I think Junk is mostly fine. What I think you need to do is you need to revert down quality of knife nerfs from the past. What do I mean with quality of life nerfs? The trap startup time, the arming time of the trap, revert that, please. And revert the movement change they did on Tire on Overwatch 1. Like give it the Overwatch 1 OG speed to Tire. I think you can easily do that to Rat. Like I believe it was 13. The Overwatch 1 like OG speed I think it was 13 or 14 or so that's around that. Let me actually check. Just so you can have the numbers in hand. Yeah, it was 13. Yeah. Give him back the 13 speed on Tire and the arming time on Trap. And if you can projectile speed on Trap too. Like make Trap a little bit more versatile where you can place it and hold fast your arms. And make it so Tire moves a little bit faster. But, and here's the important part, the but, because this is not over. This is not everything. Reduce the state of the Trap from 2.5 seconds to 2. And make it so the primary bounces less times. So imagine he has like 3 as a 4th max bounce, make it 3. Make his primary bounce a little bit less, so he stays on the field a little bit less. That's my take there. If you do the trap changes, reduce the trap duration from 2.5 to 2. And make it so his primary doesn't bounce as much. Reduce the amount of bounces of his primary. But, given the OG tire speed, given the OG trap arming time, improve the breakthrough speed on trap, and the last change, and this is just a quality of life thing, fix his movement. Make it so if I have a mind like this, he doesn't move me upwards. Make it so I can actually use my mind on a horizontal basis instead of it always moving me upwards. Make it so the mind moves stronger in his position relative to the mine and not always on a 45-degree angle toward the mine is. That is my take with mine. Yeah, that is stronger. May. I have 2 suggestions for May. The first is the range on her Endo Blaster. On the Endotomic Blaster. Make it a little bit longer range. I think right now the range is like 10 meters, if I'm not wrong. I need to quick check all of this, just so I don't say wrong stats here. I believe the range of her primary is 10 meters exactly, yeah. Make the range 50 meters, something like that. Make it a little bit further, so they can actually play a little bit further with her blaster. I think the damage of the blaster is slightly fine now. You could probably make it 115 if you wanted. You have the advanced info panel. I forgot, bro. I'm so used about it not telling me projectile speed and stuff, I don't look at it. Oh, I needed the water there. But yeah. The range and a little bit more damage on her primary, I think it's a big one. And honestly, I would like to see part of the skating ring perk going to her base kit Blizzard. Be it she gets the 25% increased movement speed on Blizzard or the 50 heal per second on Blizzard. And actually, a small thing from Blizzard that a lot of people don't know about this ultimate. Please raise the damage a little bit of the ultimate. This ultimate has not gotten a damage change since Season 9. I think it's time we give the Blizzard a little bit of a damage buff since Season 9. I think it's about time we compensate Blizzard from the Season 9 changes. I think it's time. It's not a name-based ability. I think it's time we compensate Blizzard for the Season 9 changes by giving it a little bit more damage. But that's about it for me. Para is mostly fine. If anything, I'll make this pack 8 seconds, but outside of that, I think Para is fine. Reaper. Oh my god, I wanted to stop with this guy. Revert the dumb nerf to his shift and revert the dumb nerf to his lifesteal. Neither of these nerfs make sense. They just make the hero feel worse. Generally, the lifesteal nerf generally killed his ultimate. His ultimate is way worse right now because he barely heals during it. It's actually so bad. And Rage just feels really bad to use now because he is actually way slower doing it. So just repair those 2 nerfs. Sojourn, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this again.
All of us.
Reduce the fall off from 40 meters to 25 meters. Make Sojourn a mid-range hit scan.
Good to see you.
She has the mobility to be a mid-range hit scan. And we're making a mid-range hit scan. We're making the fall of 25 meters instead of 40. Give her 250 HP. 250 HP, 25 meter fall off. No longer a ranged menace, but our character can actually fight in the mid-range way more now. 250 HP, better fall off. Soldier, I don't think this guy needs a lot. I'm gonna suggest two things. The delay on the sprint allows Soldier to start shooting faster when the sprint is over. This weird delay that he has after the sprint, I want it gone, or as low as it can possibly be. And I can suggest two things. For his biotic field, I would like to have Steampack on his base kit. But instead of gaining attack speed, he has the Saxios as biotic field, which is 40 per second instead of 30. It's on the same duration. And then on Tag Visor, I would like the fact that he either doesn't have fall off on Visor, or he doesn't have, or he has infinite ammo during Visor, one of the two. But make Visor an actually useful ultimate, because right now it generally doesn't feel like an ultimate right now. So you either remove the fall off or the ammo, and I think the ammo is a little bit better than the fall off, at least on 5v5. I think having infinite fall off on 5v5 can be a little bit more scary than giving him infinite ammo. But choose your poison. Infinite ammo or infinite fall off, one of the two. Sombra,
In my world, there are no
I know. She's getting a rework. I know. But while we wait to the rework, there's three things I would like to see that happen with this character. I would like to see this fall off going from 15 to 20 meters. I would like the base damage of someone's gun from 8 to 10. I would like the spread be reduced to 1 degree. But I would like it that Opportunist no longer gives you a damage boost on hack. Give her actual damage and actual good spread and actual good fall off on a normal gun. But get rid of the Opportunist damage boost. So you don't need to hack to do damage. Yeah, there are many short-term things they can do to Sombra, Spectator or current rework in 20. Like, you can just buffer gun, buffer damage to 10, buffer fall to 20, buffer spread to 1 degrees maximum. So her spread is way lower. Kind of like Mauga. You give her the Mauga spread, which is not great at range, but she doesn't need to be ranged. Mid-range Sombra is fine. You buff the damage, buff the spread, and you buff the fall off. And you get rid of the hack damage boost. That's it. That's all you need to do with this character. Get rid of the hack damage boost, buffer normal gun. That's it. The rest of Sombra is fine right now. Generally, I think you wouldn't even need to rework her, if I'm being fully honest. You just buffer gun, get rid of the hack damage boost, and if you truly want to get rid of the damage boost on hack, make it so Virus doesn't have a hack damage or effect duration change. Like, make it so the impact damage doesn't double on hack, just the effect duration. And make the impact damage 40. If you want, 40 or 45. So you don't rely on hack to do damage. But honestly, I don't think you need to change Virus much. I think you can just reduce the direct hit, like, buff from hack on Virus. And just make Virus like 40 impact damage or 45. That's it. Make it so Sombra doesn't rely on hack to do damage. Being that way is more cancelled at a lower duration. I agree. Let's get rid of the hack one shots. Let's get rid to the hack and you do this and barely tickle you're pretty much dead. Let's make it so Sombra doesn't need to hack, which is the part a lot of people hate from her kid, to kill you. So Sombra can either choose to hack you for the effect of the hack, or to shoot you to kill you, but not both. No, don't give Sombra a benefit damage-wise from hacking you, from using CC on you. It's like if you gave Cassidy a damage boost on you because he threw a nade at you. That doesn't make sense. Don't give Sombra a damage boost for hacking you. It's not fun for the Sombra player. It's not fun for the people playing against the Sombra. Symmetra, I'm gonna be quick with this one. Reduce the health from the TP, the shield from the TP from 250 to 150. Reduce the health of Photon Barrier from 400,000 or 4,000 to from 4,000 to 2,000. My mouth started working on one. But yeah, reduce the health of the wall by half. And reduce the TP health of 350 to 250. That's about it. You need to do with Symmetra. And if you really wanted to compensate Symmetra, reduce the hitbox of her all fire, but give it 120 damage on her all fire. It does feel like 40k though. Yeah, that's the thing. I want it on 2k HP, so it's actually breakable with the right effort. This out of 3 counterplay for the ultimate, because the problem with Symmetra right now is she has a lot of guaranteed value, both from her TP and from her wall. These two cooldowns are very guaranteed value right now. You don't lose anything from using them. There's no feasible counterplay. You cannot destroy them in a realistic time manner. So let's fix that and see from there. Do that and we see from there. Thor. Thor for me is a fairly simple character to buff. And this is actually going to be kind of funny. I want his long range quote-unquote weapon. I want his projectile speed buff. I want to buff Thorjun's projectile speed on his gun. And on the same time, or another thing I want to do with Thor, and I actually need to check the wiki for this, because I don't know the exact data of this for Thor. And I want to do this with getting hand. It's like 7 meters per second, me thinking. Yeah. Oh no, it's 70 meters per second. Buff it to 80. Oh shit, Overwatch froze. Overwatch. Okay, it's back. Okay. So make it 85 meters per second or 90 meters per second. I think May is 90. Is May 90? Actually, let me check. It's May 90 meters per second or all fire. Oh, it's 115. I think I can make Thorjun's like all fire 90, or maybe even 100 meters per second if you want to push it. Improve his projectile speed. And the second thing I want to suggest for Thor is change his turret build time from 2.5 to 1.5 seconds. Make his turret build faster, but reduce its health to 200. Make Thorjun's turret health 200, but make his build time faster. Make it so you can set the turret up faster. And honestly, make the throw range increase from Anchor Bolt's base kit. Throw range base kit, faster arming time on the turret, but 200 HP turret. Honestly, if you truly want it, the cooldown is overall fine. You can make it 10 seconds if you get something too bad. 10 second turret with 200 HP, but better throw time, better build time. You make it more dynamic. I think that will be fun. Tracer. Oh my god, for fuck's sake. Another one that we need to go back on all the bad deeds we've done to this character. Give her back the hitbox on her primary. Her with no hitbox on her primary sucks to play as. Because it's generally you're going gambling when you're playing Tracer. Right now, playing Tracer is generally going gambling. Playing Tracer currently is generally gambling. You're gambling. You're 100% gambling with Tracer right now. If you're playing Tracer, you're gambling. Give her back the hitbox on her primary fire and 5.5 damage per pellet. Revert the Rico cooldown back to 12 seconds. Very important. And if you want, reduce the spread further on Tracer's gun. But make it so Tracer can be actually consistent on her damage instead of giving her the insane damage, but make it so you're basically going gambling every time. Revert the spread nerf, revert the recoil nerf, and nerf her damage, and revert basically the 3 nerfs. Revert the recoil nerf, revert the spread nerf, revert the hitbox nerf, but make it 5.5 damage again. And if you're scared that she will still be bad, generally just buff the spread again. Reduce it even harder. I don't care. Reduce it even harder. Vendetta. I'm not gonna hold much with this one. I think this one is pretty easy to nerf. Hovering Fang, 55 on swing, 110 on critical. You can do. Just make it so she doesn't have as much burst. So when she clicks this, it doesn't solely just stack that, and then just basically takes half of your health by 3. But allow reward Penderas for actually hitting her other swings. Because most Penderas are even hitting this. They just do this, then bim. This, then bim. They are not even looking to hit them. Reward Penderas for hitting those. And make it the movement speed bonus per stack from 4% to 3%. So she's not as good as of a tank buster. If you don't want to do that, make it so her block doesn't block melee attacks. One of the two. You can choose. Why are those two last changes, you might ask? So Vendera doesn't suck to play against for most of the tanks in the roster. Because the cards that are most affected by the attack speed and the melee block are the tanks. So you get to choose one of the two. What do you want to nerf? Want to nerf her attack speed stacks? So she doesn't stack as much attack speed and just make those tanks for free? Or do you want to make it so tanks can actually interact with her block? You need to choose your poison. Mentor is fine. I wouldn't change Mentor at all right now. And the Mentor is completely fine. If you want to do something with Mentor, is remove the camera lock on the drill. That's about it. Remove the camera lock. That's about all you need to do with Mentor for now. Remove the camera lock on drill. Widowmaker. I'm gonna be going pretty simple with this one. I just make this a 12-second cooldown and reduce the spread to 2.5 on her normal gun. That's about it. I don't think we don't need a lot. And that's about it. I don't think you need to change most supports. If you were to suggest to me what are the supports I would change outside of the three you mentioned, like the HP buffs for Sen, for Weaver, and for Moira, that is fine. But I'm gonna say one small thing for buff. There's also a joke buffet. True, yeah. Make Immortality Field a 15-second cooldown, a 16-second cooldown like Susan. Make Immortality Field 16 seconds, and if you're scared it will be too good, nerf the health to 100. Break is fine. Iliari, you can buffer damage if you want, but I think it's mostly fine. Kir is fine. Kir is fine. Weaver, 275, and in my opinion, just buff his gun, buff his weapon. Either get rid of the spread on his Thornbody, buff the spread, and buff the projectile speed. Buff the spread and projectile speed on the thing. And a quick thing for Pero, just reduce the health by half, reduce the duration by half, reduce the cooldown to 10 seconds, and make it so enemies cannot get on the platform, but instead they get pooped by it. So if I put the platform on him and he tries to climb on it, he gets pooped outside of the platform. And for his ultimate, make it so he heals instead of 150 initial 90 pulse, you make it 120 and 80 for the healing. But you make it so it guarantees overhealth on every pulse. So it's like 80 healing and 120 initial, but it guarantees 10 overhealth per pulse that it gives, even if you're not full health. And make it so if you cast 3 of life on enemies, the enemies on the tree itself, they get slowed by 20%. You deter people from getting in the tree area. So you're actually encouraged to use your tree aggressively and not just defensively. And you guarantee a little bit of overhealth on the tree. So with the initial pulse, it's like 120 plus 10 is basically 120 overhealth that you get, 130. So like if you cast a tree on somebody, when you're on yourself, you get to 325 and you get to instantly leave and seek to do damage, or you cast it on the enemy team, or you're jumping on them, you get a little bit of overhealth. And you get to slow the enemy so they cannot get easily away from it. So you can use your tree. So for example, you're using tree. and you get to use that Genji blade, and people won't be able to kite it so easily. Or you're using a hazard ult, or you're using an echo copy, or a Cassidy High Noon, or a Soyun ult. Like, make it so Weaver is leaving 15. I forgot. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, make three 8 seconds. Why is it 15? It doesn't make sense. You're right. I forgot about that. I had that on my notes too. I have that on my notes. Make 3 8 seconds. Make 3 8 seconds. Why is 3 15 seconds? It doesn't make sense. It's like Valkyrie. Why is Valkyrie 15 seconds? Having a 15-second ultimate, it doesn't work. Unless the ultimate is egregiously bad, which is the case with both of them. And speaking of Mercy, I'm just gonna say a quick thing for Mercy herself. Outside of making Valkyrie 8 seconds, like, just make it so Mercy can go on Valkyrie, and I'm gonna say this real quick. Just give her flash heal on base kit. But instead of 50 health and triple on allies below half health, is 60 HP. And you buff the attack speed of whoever you give it to. So it's like you get flash heal on, let's see how much the cooldown is. Let's look from there. Give me flash heal real quick.
My prognosis is excellent.
Again, I know. Okay, it's on the staff. Again, okay. Make it a 12-second cooldown, basically. Make it a 12-second cooldown that heals 60 HP or 65 HP. And that gives you an attack speed and a movement speed buff. So it's like you give this to a target. Honestly, make it 10 seconds. Fuck it. Make it 10 seconds. It gives you an attack speed and a movement speed buff. Kind of like Ventara's passive. And it gives you a little bit of health. So you allow Mercy to actually go to someone, give her the flash heal. But you have a Reinhardt fighting. You give the Reinhardt the flash heal, and then you connect to another target. And that target is going to be getting attack speed and a little bit of healing. You can make it like 50 healing and maybe 40 over time. And so you can give that target that, and then you go to another target, and you get to be the beam on them, and then you give that to that target, and then you go to the next one. You encourage more target swapping for Mercy to use actively this ability. Because the fact that the only active ability Mercy has is Rest, basically encourages her to just be behind a wall, just pocketing somebody, which is not fun for anyone. And with this in mind, make Valkyrie only 10 seconds or 8 seconds, but make it so your cooldown, instead of it being 10 seconds, is 3 seconds. So you get to apply this to someone, you get to leave, you get to go to another guy, and you get to just give this to multiple targets. Or even just a reset of the cooldown even. You can make it like a reset. So you pop Valkyrie, you get a reset of this. You get the cooldown accelerated by 50% of your Valkyrie. And that's about it. Kind of like how the way Rally works. It's like, but instead of this one reset and the normal cooldown, you get like the reset and you get the amplified cooldown time. But it's only 8 seconds of bulk. But give Mercy a little bit more infight utility. And then you can consider nerfing things like damage boost, if you make Mercy actually good. Moira, we already said, 250 HP, nerf can also sustain a little bit, if you end up needing to. Wu Yang I think is fine, and Zenyatta making 275, but nerf Discord, if you end up needing to. I don't care, give him mobility or make him 275. And also allow him to use his abilities to Transcendence. Allow him to use Discord and Harmony Orb to Transcendence. If Juno gets to use abilities during her ult, Weaver gets to do it. Juno gets to do it. Lucio gets to do it. Why not Zenyatta? Allow Zenyatta to use his abilities during his ultimate. And if you want, you could nerf the Transcendence a little bit if he ends up being too good. But just allow Zenyatta to use abilities during his ultimate. And make him 275, or give him mobility. Let's get honestly further amplifies the duality aspect. Honestly, I wouldn't mind that either, yeah. Either allow him to use abilities, allow him to use Harmony or Discord, or give him the ultimate perk on base, one of the two. But give him 275 or give him mobility. Honestly, if you give him 275, it's the perfect excuse to nerf Discord afterwards. which I think a lot of people will be happy about. But allow this, I think you're not on season 9 anymore. You can try and give this guy 275 and see what the hell happens. I am willing to try it. Just as the bastion changed, I am willing to try it. Try 225 HP again. See what the hell happens. Because this character was 225 for the longest time. This season 9. Let's make him 275. Just like Cassidy was 225 and we want him on 275. He's a character with the hitbox of a 275 HP character. He doesn't have any kind of mobility outside of his minor perk and his ultimate. Let's give this guy 275 and see what happens. And if we need to nerf his annoying parts of the kit, we do it. But yeah, that is the patch wish list. That is what I would like to see for the patch. Presume, mostly. Support is like the most simple part because it's like also like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, so it's like your Mercy, Moira, Sen, and Weaver. The rest of the supports are mostly fine. Even Iliari, which I think is on the lower end, I think is mostly fine. I think getting macro buff Iliari. But I just want to take up the support roster a little bit. I want to see Moira on 250, I want to see Sen and Weaver on 275 and see what the fuck happens. I want to see what the hell happens. I want to see what happens if we get a 250 HP Freya. I want to see what happens if we get to 75 HP Cassidy back. Let's do this shit. Let's shake things up. Let's go back on some of these things that have not been working. And let's give these characters a chance to shine that have not been able to shine for a while.